Hey Harmonizers, welcome to this video where we are taking the horses to Las Vegas. Pretty excited to be headed there. We decided it's only an extra 3 hours and we're already all the way out here, so why not? Let's go to Vegas. So we're going to pick up the horses. Here's a little look at the place that we stopped at after coming back from Hollywood. We stopped here en route and you get to see another one of these facilities where the horses are in these outdoor stall pen type things. So they don't have big pastures to graze on. They're all in individual pens. They've got some natural shade there from the trees. Here's a little look at Miss Lissy going to be hopping on the trailer. So even though they're on the road all of these days, they still get on the trailer really easily. We try to make it a really nice space for them. They've got the big drop down windows. They've got their hay bags in there. The trailer's a slant load, which is a little bit more comfortable for them to ride in than a straight load. And they've got an insulated roof to help keep them cool, as well as shavings for bedding. And we keep it all mucked out and clean for them throughout the day. And of course, we get them lots of water throughout the day too. Here's a closer look at the outdoor pens. You can see they've got their hay, water, space to roam around in, but they don't have shelter. They've got the natural shelter there from the shade, or I guess the one has the roof there. And it's kind of interesting to see the different setup because on the eastern side of the states, a lot of the horses are on pasture and big turnouts. And then here you can see those smaller individualized turnouts. So I thought that's kind of interesting to see how different horses live. And then here, look at this, we see some wild burros out as we're driving along to Vegas, which was super awesome. And then we get to Vegas, and as we're getting there, we're going to the Vegas sign, and it's right beside a little airport and as well a highway. So it's super busy as we're getting there. It's kind of an intense challenge just getting there, and we got super lucky that there were a whole bunch of parking spots ready in a row that we could go stop at. And it was super hot. Oh boy, it was bacon. It was really hot out there, and you can see the horses are doing awesome even with the highway right there, the car zooming by. You can see the airports literally right there beside us, these big planes, or I guess they're technically, I guess, littler planes. They look like jets or something. And it was a lot of chaos as we're getting over there. So the horses are walking up to get our picture done at the Las Vegas sign, and there's a whole line up there. So once we get to the front there, we've got to stand in line with everybody else, and it's really hot. But you know what, we wanted to come here and get some pictures by the Las Vegas sign, take our horses to Vegas. And once we're up there, the horses are just like, yep, sure, no worries. So this trip has been super awesome for them, just to build their connection with us, build their confidence, because it was a lot of different things all the time. So we drive here, we get the horses off the trailer, we're using an umbrella for the sun to help keep the sun off of everybody. And you can see we're in line there, kind of what that looks like. And I'm not really sure if the person at the front is employed by Vegas or if they're just kind of a random person, but there's a person that's kind of managing the line a little bit and is actually taking the phones for people and taking pictures for everybody, which is kind of cool. So we're just all kind of standing in queue. And then finally it's our turn. So I decide to go bridleless beside the highway, beside the airport to the Las Vegas sign. And everybody's taking roughly 2 minutes or so. So we're like, okay, we're going to try to make the most of this, get a couple cute little photos, but not take too long to take up the space. And it's kind of neat. There's this like little mound. So this is like AstroTurf. It's not real grass. It's like this little hill in front of the sign. And then I thought it'd be cool to ride between the pillars of the sign. So we're coming around, gonna go between the little pillars there. And this is all bridleless, just like you don't get a chance to walk this first. You get your 2 minutes of fame, so to speak, with the Las Vegas sign, and that's all you get to do. And it's pretty cool because we got there at a great time where there was lots of parking available, thank goodness, because it's pretty busy. And then as we were leaving, there was a whole bunch of other cars coming in and ready to fill those spots. But the horses were super awesome and well behaved. So I did my little part with Alicia, and Franny did a little bit with Nova, getting a couple little pictures. And we decided to get a group in there as well. And I wanted to get some pictures with little Evie as well. So I was asking for little Evie to come over and join me. Little bit of liberty. Didn't have a lot of time to do that. And it's like, Lizzie, cooperate. We want to get a quick picture here. And she was just awesome. She's just like taking it all in. She's like, all right, highway on both sides of me, some airplanes going off over there, and no big deal. We can just, do our photo shoot, even though we just got off the horse trailer after going for a couple hours. And of course, after all of these things, every time we're stopping, we're giving the horses lots of water too. It was really, really hot. I was pretty thankful that the line wasn't any longer, because this was a lot to do for sure. And there's little Evie coming in to join me for a little picture coming up on our hill. And then after little Ev, we ended up passing the phone over to the lady that was taking pictures, who, again, I'm not really sure if she's employed by Vegas or not, but super handy that she was there to be able to take pictures of everybody. So we got a little picture of our group, and then decided to drive down the strip. Here's the picture of us as a group. And there was nowhere to park. We really wanted to stop and maybe, get some pictures on the main strip, but there was nowhere to park, and we were getting kind of pressed for time to get to the Grand Canyon. So we thought, let's not push it. We don't need to go back and do another loop. We'll just get going to the Grand Canyon. And in typical road trip with my horse fashion, as we're driving there, we're thinking, all right, the timing's going to be a little bit tight, and there's no lights at the Grand Canyon, so we got to get there before sunset. And the original plan was that we would get there and we'd have to drive to the Bryce Canyon afterwards. So even after sunset, we have a 5-hour drive to get to our stop. And because we have to book for the horses and for us, there isn't really the opportunity to kind of change that all around. It's a little bit complicated to do that. So we are committed to this drive. We are going to the Grand Canyon, and we're going to the South Rim, and we're hoping that it all works out for timing. Here's the sign as we crossed over into Arizona. It was so cool to see how the landscape just completely changes as you drive across the states. And this is kind of cool. As you're coming into the Grand Canyon, you go through this really, really flat stretch, and you see this kind of big mountain in the distance, which is a lot closer to where the Grand Canyon is. And then we finally get there. We get to the South Rim. We get tacked up and head out. Here's just a little look. It is breathtaking, and it's kind of mind-boggling for your brain to just kind of grasp just how vast and deep this canyon is. It is truly remarkable. So I'm going to do a separate video dedicated to the Grand Canyon, but I hope you guys enjoyed checking out Vegas and following along our crazy adventures. Thanks for watching.
Remember to subscribe and check out harmonyhorsemanship.com for even more learning.